no one should be at all surprised we did this. Like, not even a little.
So this is my buddy Spider-Man. We just saw his movie.
This is Lady Deadpool.
And he's fucking awesome. And so is his movie.
You glorious bastards. You glorious bastards.
I was telling you this before we left the theater. I've seen all of the recent Spider-Man movies except for Spider-Man 3, because fuck that movie. And this is my favorite.
You glorious bastard, you did it!
Okay.
You finally fucking did it!
This is too warm.
Yeah, welcome to my world. And I look good in this shit, though.
You do, and you got many photo ops.
Yeah. Well, it's like I've been working out more recently, so I was like, yeah, tights. Show off that physique.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah. Who wants ticket to the web show? Anyway, my arrogance aside, no, they finally got it.
Yes.
It took 5 goddamn movies.
Yes.
But they finally got it.
Like,
this movie is so good.
You're an actual comic fan.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to hearing everything you have to say, but first let me get this in.
Okay.
This is the Spider-Man movie that I've always wanted. It is well paced, there's not too much plot, it's believable, within the context of the fantastical universe. But you actually get to know Peter Parker and not just his origin story. You get to like and root for him, the person, the teenager, the student, the good Samaritan. And yes, this is the Spider-Man movie I've wanted since the first Sam Raimi version came out in 01 or 02.
Yeah, I agree. This is... I'm trying to think of where to start. They fucking got it. They got Spider-Man right. Yes. That's really the best way. Tom Holland is fantastic.
Yes!
Everyone in this movie is pretty fantastic. They took Ned from the Ultimate Universe, like the Spider-Man that took over after Peter Parker died in the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
There was a new one. He's very popular now. I think it's like Miles Morales, something like that.
I've heard that name.
He's the Black Spider-Man, basically. He's very, very popular now. He started in the Ultimate Universe. They brought back in current continuity comics. But he had a best friend, best agent friend was his name. I don't know if his name was Ned, but I know he had the best friend character that was a lot like this.
That was in on the Secret.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the sidekick kind of character. So he fills in that role. Peter Parker did not have that in the comics. This is new for him, but they work. 'Cause they have great chemistry together, and they're a lot of fun. Michael Keaton, I fucking love him. He could be in a toilet shitting for an entire movie, and I still call it Oscar worthy.
I mean, I know that you shouldn't root for the villain, but I really like him in this role.
He's great. No, he opens the movie, and within the first 5 seconds, you instantly get where he's coming from.
He's simultaneously charming and scary as hell.
We'll get to that. Well, there's one scene in particular. You probably know what I'm talking about, but we'll get to it later because that scene I want to take piece by piece because I loved every second of that.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. But no, Spider-Man feels like Spider-Man.
Yes.
It's amazing to me how much they get, and me and Grant were scared going to this movie because we looked at the director's stuff and then we looked at the writers oh god, this could be terrible, but no, they pulled it off by the miracle of God. They pulled it off.
They did.
And here's the thing,
I kind of want to credit Sony and Marvel
until Sony fucks up their deal.
Studios communicating and cooperating, because I think that had a lot to do with this getting pulled off.
Until Sony fucks it up by whatever the hell they're doing with the Spider-Man movies now.
But at least...
Oh, we're gonna make a Venom and a Mysterio and a Kraven movie that's gonna have no connection to the MCU. It's gonna be like because Sony wants all the money.
But at least we have this one.
At least this is true.
At least we have this one.
I will take that. That's a good point. So if nothing else comes from this, although Spider-Man is gonna be in Infinity War, they have
Sweet.
Yeah, so I'm down for that.
Yeah.
We have this is as the only thing I would say is I don't think there's any fight in this movie that tops the Spider-Man 2 train fight with Doc Ock.
Fair enough.
But other than that, fucking hell, this is I think far and away the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen.
Same here.
And I've talked Spider-Man for me. Spider-Man was my childhood hero as a kid. Honestly, a lot of who I am now probably is because of Spider-Man, which sounds corny and cliche, but honestly, it's true.
Yeah, it's a truism for you.
It was what got me into comics. The first superhero game I ever played was Spider-Man on the PS1. Which got me back into the TV show, which got me back into comics. So everything here is because of Spider-Man, basically.
I watched the Saturday morning cartoon on Fox obsessively when I was a kid.
I tracked down all the old TV shows. I didn't watch all of Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends, but I watched quite a few episodes. I was obsessed. I absorbed every piece of knowledge and information I could find until I discovered my first comic book series, which was Ultimate Spider-Man. And that's what got me back into that character, got me back into that world. That's what got me into regular continuity, and I was just sucked in from there. But I adored this character for so many of my, for basically as long as I can remember. Since I was 10 or 12. I've been in love with this character.
So about a decade and a half.
Give or take. So a long fucking time is what it boils down to. So when I say they got this right, I mean they got this right. And they got everything that is important about Spider-Man into this character. And here's the thing that amazes me. They made it look effortless.
Yes.
That's what it boils down to. It is done so naturally and so organically, it doesn't feel forced. We don't oh, look, here's the Green Goblin and the Rhino for no reason. And there's none of that shit. None of it feels like we're tacking this on because that's what we're required to do for Spider-Man movies. This movie actually does have 3 villains in it.
Shocker?
The Shocker, the Vulture, and the Tinkerer.
Okay.
Yeah, technically 4 or 5. You want to get super specific, because there were a couple cameos.
Oh, you have my interest.
Yeah, the Scorpion is in this movie.
Really?
He's the guy at the end that talks to the Vulture.
Oh, okay. I thought that might be a little Easter egg, but
yeah, spoiler for this for a little bit. Not that much of a spoiler.
But I'm not as well versed as you two have picked up on it, so thank you.
He's in the boat too. He's the one that helps the weapons deal, whatever. His name is Matt Gargan. So when they said his name, Matt Gargan's yes. And I'm just because you want to talk about perfect casting. Casting that actor as the Scorpion is an inspired choice. And
he looked really familiar.
He's been in a few things. He was in Better Call Saul.
Okay.
And I know he's also in Far...
Yes.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about now.
And he's also one of the main antagonists in Far Cry 3, which just look up any of the Far Cry 3 trailers. You'll see him immediately because he plays a great psychopath.
I can see that.
Even his most well-known monologue in the game, he goes the definition of insanity, and just goes do the same thing over and over. And he goes a big long rant how he's going to kill him, and then he ends it by saying, "Have I told you the definition of insanity?" And then he drops him. Fucking great. Look it up. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, having that character play the Scorpion, I want to see that so badly. So I really hope they're making the main villain in the sequel. Donald Glover in this movie also plays a Spider-Man villain called the Prowler.
I remember him from the cartoon.
Yeah. So that he was played by Donald Glover in this movie.
Okay.
So we'll see where that goes. I don't know if they're going to go with the end of that sequel. Maybe they're just having hey, it's that character. Maybe we'll bring them at some point, but who knows?
They may or may not. Donald Glover tends to keep very busy with multiple projects.
Yeah, but I feel like he'd come back for a Spider-Man movie after everyone wanted him to be Spider-Man for the longest time.
Yeah, I think he talked about that in one of his stand-up routines.
He did. Yeah. He's guys, I'm flattered, but calm down. But yeah, I mean, you made the Vulture scary. That's no easy feat.
No.
And yeah, I mean, like but they kept the other villain roles to smaller supporting roles. They didn't try to give them the entire other half of the movie, which was a mistake that Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 did.
Yes, agreed. I liked Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I did too.
But like I said, this is better. They didn't overstuff it.
No, I agree, and that's what makes it work. It knows where to keep the focus. The focus has to be on Spider-Man. It has to be on Peter Parker. It has to be on the hero's journey. It has to be on basically how he blames himself for everything.
I never thought about it like that, but you're right.
He does. No, it's a well-known Spider-Man thing. It's been joked about for years. It's a long ongoing joke that people have made fun of, but no, it knows where to keep the focus. And like, I mean, I was kind of on board with people say like, I'm not sure about bringing it back to the high school setting, but it's still entertaining. It was still, you were still invested in the characters. You still wanted to see them succeed. And again, the villain is really good.
Yes.
Again, it doesn't help. It helps it's Michael Keaton as the main role. But again, even the villain wise, it knows where to keep the focus. It's strictly on the Vulture. The Vulture is the main bad guy. Everyone else is a supporting role, and that's the way it should be. The Tinkerer, makes sense to make a supporting character because he just makes shit. That's really his main purpose as a villain.
Yeah.
The Shocker. It's never been one of the most popular Spider-Man villains out there, so I'm not surprised he kind of got delegated to a supporting role, but they did keep his silly yellow vest in there, so I appreciated that nod.
Yeah, he was shocking.
Oh, sad. Anyway.
Peter Parker made the same pun in
I know,
the movie.
Still. Anywho. But yeah, even though the trailers really upplay the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man part, but he's really not in the movie that much.
No,
that's what scared me going into the movie.
It's more of like a fairy godfather type.
It's a mentoring position.
Yeah.
Where first he's kind of want to get him out of his hair, but keeps tabs on him anyway. But he kind of gets more invested into the relationship as it goes on. He's not in the movie that much, but he's in it enough that you can still feel his presence, and he's playing the role he's meant to play in his journey. He does not steal the show. He does not steer everyone away from Peter Parker's journey. That's what I was afraid of. Because you have a Robert Downey Jr. movie with an up-and-coming actor, you're afraid Robert Downey Jr. is going to steal the show. And I'm so glad they didn't. That's my biggest concern going into it. It's like, is this Spider-Man or Iron Man 5?
I was curious about that too, because like you said, the trailers made it look like it was going to be a superhero buddy cop type movie.
Yeah, so I was really worried about it. But again, it's not. It's about Peter trying to balance his superhero life with his regular life, which has always been the appeal of the character.
Yes.
But he's also the down to earth. This movie has significantly smaller scales than any of the Marvel movies, and I like that about it. And that fits very well with Spider-Man. Spider-Man has handled big, larger life apocalyptic stuff before too, but again, he always just the guy that will just help a lady get home, or just take back a stolen bike, or something like. Or just shit like that. He's the guy that just bad shit keeps happening to. Or that he has to make sacrifices to make him look like an enormous dick.
Spoiler alert, leaving
the Homecoming dance, yeah. We're going to spoil this from here on out, so before we get too far into it, I'm just going to say, go see the movie.
Yes.
I highly recommend it.
Yes.
As of right now, it's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Agreed.
I might like it more than Wonder Woman.
Me too.
Yeah.
Actually, and I saw Wonder Woman twice in its opening weekend, and
I'm gonna see it again tomorrow. I'm gonna see this again tomorrow. So,
I'll probably see it on my next day off. Not tomorrow because I have other stuff going on.
I don't even know the details.
Duran Duran concert in Oakland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, spoilers. I recommend the movie. Go see it. Now let's talk shop. So let's really get into this motherfucker. So the main love interest in this movie is Liz Allen. Now, Liz Allen and Peter Parker actually have had a relationship in the past. I think very briefly in the comics. It was highlighted in the TV show The Spectacular Spider-Man. Which you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's amazing.
That's what I've heard.
It's honestly this movie and The Spectacular Spider-Man are the closest we'll ever get to the perfect Spider-Man Peter Parker.
I believe it.
In real life. And again, for the same reasons as Peter Parker keeps fucking up. In like the worst way, and both times I have to go, oh, poor Liz.
Yeah.
Because like, especially in like the cartoon, Liz has the patience of a goddamn saint.
I mean, I love Peter Parker in this, but poor Liz, she gets left on the freaking dance floor.
Like, so many people get screwed over because of Peter Parker, and you can tell, like, everyone thinks he's an asshole, but you're like, I'm just trying, you can tell he's always trying to do the best he can. That's something I've always liked about the character, is like, no matter how shitty things get, he always has to do the right thing. Or what it costs to himself, he has to always do the right thing.
Heck, he even saves the life of the person who tried to kill him.
And thank God, because again, that's a very Spider-Man thing to do. That's something he would do.
Yes.
Because even the villain dies, he feels horrible about it. Because again, his whole thing's like, I do not want a single other person to die because of me. That's what the whole point of the Uncle Ben thing was.
Yeah.
And I love how they tied that back into the movie too, without overtly going, this is my dark origin, and this is how I became Spider-Man. It's only referenced in pieces and just through little lines. Like when Ned discovers who Spider-Man is, and he goes like, can I tell? Everybody's like, no, can I tell Aunt May? Like, no, you cannot tell Aunt May. Like, for everything she's going through right now, you cannot tell her. And so that cannot tell, like, okay, the death of Uncle Ben was not that long ago. And I like little nods like that. I thought it was a very nice touch.
But they didn't have to hit the nail on.
No, they don't. There's no flashback sequence. There's no with great power comes great responsibility or some variation thereof.
If you've seen the other Spider-Man movies, or if you've read the comics or watched the cartoon,
or if you know who Spider-Man is, you know how he became Spider-Man.
You know the origin story, and that's something else that I liked about this, is that they didn't rehash that again.
No, and you don't need to, because we all know it. It's like going through Batman's origin again. We know his parents fucking died. Move on.
Yep.
He has daddy issues, okay? We get it. Freudian complex, maybe. I don't know. That's a little weird. But anyway, but no, I think my favorite scene in the movie, and again, this is very Spider-Man, was when there's a twist in the movie that I should have seen coming and I didn't.
So, when, just before that twist, I knew a twist was coming because everything was going too smoothly, everything was going too normally for
Peter Parker.
For Peter Parker, so I knew something had to inconvenience him.
Yeah, and it turns out is, so after a series of unfortunate events, Peter asks out Liz to homecoming. She says yes, so he goes to her house, knocks on the door. Who opens the door? The fucking Vulture.
Yes.
Because apparently he's Liz's dad, which is just... I should have seen that coming, but it's an inspired twist.
I should have seen it coming too, but before that happened, I was thinking it would be a smaller twist, like Flash Thompson.
Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson's just a dick in this.
Yes.
not like in his comic it's athletic, like thug, like yo bro, let's go bro. He's like hey,
he's just an asshole.
I can make your name sound like penis. It's that kind of jerk. Anyway, sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
So I was thinking that he would be at Liz's house trying to cockblock Peter, but
we're gonna cockblock him. That's because it would be like, one, how would he know up to that point? And two, why go after a teenage girl? It's creepy.
Yeah. But this twist I didn't see coming, and it's a million times better than the twist that I was expecting.
And it leads to what's arguably, in my opinion, the best scene in the movie. And like there are a lot of times in the movie I was going, oh no.
Me too.
And I can't remember the last time a Spider-Man movie in particular made me do this. So
I actually kind of murmured to myself, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I was here like, "Oh no, don't like where this is going." So Spider-Man is naturally perturbed by this new revelation, and
he's freaked out. He doesn't even look at Liz because he's so freaked out.
Like, oh my god, this is the guy who's been trying to kill me for 2 hours. So then he drives him to the homecoming, and they start talking about the recent events. How, like, there's this part where, like, since DC saves Liz Allen from the elevator, or, like, how he's always disappearing, how he disappeared from the party to go to find out where, like, there's a party Liz has, and he has to leave early to like go be Spider-Man showing up, but then he sees an explosion. Turns out it's one of Adrian Toome's men, and they're blowing shit up with the Prowler. And then so they're talking about how it's like, you always disappear all the time. You're apart for like 2 seconds, and it's like, were you in the? And that you can see Michael Keaton start putting the pieces together,
yes.
And that's when you're like, oh shit.
Yes, it's a gloriously acted and directed scene because there's so much going on, so subtly.
And nothing's being said on his part.
It has such meat and layers to it, all because of these two guys' performances.
Mm-hmm. And there is especially a moment towards the end that is a recreation of the most famous Spider-Man moments in comics. I'll get into it in a little while.
Okay.
Any hardcore Spider-Man fan will know what I'm talking about. But before I get to that, I do want to see about more. So, like, when he started more like how Spider-Man and Peter Parker just happen to kind of coincide with each other. Michael Keaton, like, his face just kind of starts to morph as he kind of like starts putting the pieces together, and then he gets kind of like a little smirk as he figures it out.
You can see the wheels in his head turning.
Yeah, and Michael Keaton is so fucking good.
Yes.
I love older Michael Keaton. He's just aged like fine wine.
He has. Birdman, the founder.
He is the Birdman now.
He is. Birdman, the founder, Spotlight, and the Vulture. He is batting 1,000. I love his choices.
Now he's literally a Birdman.
Yes.
That was for a joke I made when I saw it. When I heard like, "Hey, Michael Keaton cast the Vulture." Oh, no, he's actually Birdman. Okay.
Yes,
that's a joke everybody made, but I still made it anyway. Because Birdman, I think, might be one of my all-time favorite movies because that movie is so phenomenal.
Yes.
But yeah, no, he's so good. So like, as soon as they get to the homecoming, he like lets her out, and he does like the whole like, look, you say my daughter, so you and I are pretty square. So if you want to back out now, I won't stop you. But if you do, I'm gonna have to kill you. And it's like the smarmiest it kind of harnesses character from the founder just a little bit.
Yes, I picked up on that.
And just like, I will fuck you up 12 ways to Sunday if you fucking try right now. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's basically what he says.
It's like the protective father talk met with a psychotic criminal, which is exactly what he's portraying.
And again, they make the Vulture suit like really fucking intimidating.
It's extremely menacing.
Yeah, just the way the wings work and everything like that. So when Spider-Man naturally does have to ditch Homecoming to stop the Vulture from doing his Vulture-y things, he already knows he's coming. And he kind of does like the villain monologue, but it's Michael fucking Keaton. He could read the phone book and it'd still be menacing if he wanted it to be.
He makes it work.
He makes it work, and again, it still makes sense in the context of what's going on. And yeah, there's a part where they kind of do the thing where he talks like, it looks like he's trying to go for Peter Parker, but he's really just going for all the the pouring columns in the room. So the roof collapses on him, and it recreates one of the most well-known comic book Spider-Man scenes in comic book history. It's a classic scene where it's very much the same exact scenario, except the circumstances are different. I think it was that point like Aunt May was sick or something like that, and only Spider-Man had the cure for. I don't remember the exact circumstance. It's been a long time since I've read it. But it's the same kind of thing, where in this case, my one issue with that is like, in that issue, they spent an entire issue with him trapped under the rubble, trying to lift it, but it's too heavy for him. But it's like, at the end, and water keeps filling up the room, so it's a time clock thing. Somebody cares about dying, he's gonna die, he's too weak to lift the thing up. It's the same setup, and he has to, like, overcome basically, like, a power of will to actually lift the damn thing up. For the fact that in, like, 3 minutes, it was still pretty good.
It was.
Better than the cartoon did it. That's the Spectacular Spider-Man took a dab at it too. This did it better. And again, that's mostly because Tom Holland is so good in this movie. And if he does not have a successful career after this, I will be shocked.
Me too.
And massively disappointed.
He's very talented. I saw him on lip sync battles. He can dance too.
He's loving every minute of this. You can tell he loves being Peter Parker. He loves being Spider-Man. He loves the fact that he can be in these movies now. And he and Robert Downey Jr. have a really good chemistry together in like the 2 scenes they're in together.
They do, yes.
Overall, like, I don't really have that many complaints about the movie. I loved every second of it.
I was enthralled. I laughed practically throughout, except for during the moments I was in suspense and going, oh shit.
Yeah, it's suspenseful. The actions are really good. The only one that kind of took me out of it for a second, and it's only for a second, is when the Vulture tries to like physically actually like punch him with his fist. Like, that looked a little weird. But again, that's an insanely minor nitpick. I mean, because it ends like the way you think it would end. Like, he tries to rob a plane, it doesn't succeed, an intense battle ensues, and the plane crashes. But again, what I liked about this compared to other Spider-Man movies is that Spider-Man actively tries to save the villain.
Yes.
Because again, like, I kind of like the Batman thing, like, except not Batman vs Superman, Batman, where it's like, you know, nobody dies. Like, if anybody dies, that's on me, and I can't accept that. So he, like, actively tries, and does end up saving the Vulture at the end of the movie, which means they could bring him back if they wanted to.
And they hint at that in the mid-credit scene.
Yeah, they probably want to do, like, a Sinister Six scene somewhere down the line.
Based off of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we know that Sony Fox has been wanting to do that for years.
Well, I mean, now that's technically under Marvel's helm now, not Sony fucking it up. Because at least this one takes its fucking time, yes. You know? Like, this doesn't rush, like, here's everyone at once!
It's the pace, not the race.
Yeah. But, yeah, I loved every second of this movie. I was invested from the frame one. It's Spider-Man, and it makes it look easy.
Yes.
And to do that in a superhero movie, and this is the part, like, a lot of people give crap for Spider-Man's more lighthearted approach to things, even though, like, there are scenes in the movies that are really fucking dark. That's a common argument here between, like, Marvel and DC fans. Like, nuh-uh, guys, DC is real. DC is dark. Darker means it's better. No, it does not! Anyway.
Wonder Woman was colorful and...
I know, that's, like, the one thing we can all agree on. Yeah. As far as, like, DC movies go, like, oh, we actually like Wonder Woman. Okay, we do. Okay, we can get along now. But everything else, like, no, Spider-Man, like, Batman and Superman are supposed to be dark and brooding. Like, our villains are real. Dark is better. My impression of dumbass. This the insane apologist. You go like, no, every second of Batman versus Superman was a goddamn masterpiece, and if you don't think so, you can go fuck yourself. Because I know what good movies are. Yeah, I know he's not like a lot like Lex Luthor, but I still like it anyway. And Doomsday looked like a troll from Lord of the Rings, but it's still good. It's great because it's dark.
Okay, I'll go.
It's dark, you guys.
Okay.
Dark and brooding. It's real. I don't have a high opinion of a lot of people that debate.
And to that train of thought, I would say, okay, I'll go fuck myself with pleasure.
Left or right side. I mean, righty's the trained pro, but lefty can use some workout too. I've been thinking of you the entire time.
Yeah.
Just send me a video doing this. Does this please you, master? I'm using my imagination. Bring that joke back. I won't get my retirement for a while. Bring it back. But anyway. Yeah, I'm making fun of a lot of comics doing penis jokes. I don't use them all the time. I'm a total hypocrite. But anywho, so... Yeah, I can't think of a lot I didn't like about this movie. I loved it.
I loved it too. It's also one of my favorite movies of this year.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is the Spider-Man movie I've been wanting for at least 15 years.
Oh, I forgot to finish my thought. Here. The one thing I was talking about the humor and how Norman gets a lot of flack for taking the lighter side of things. Like, this is a character where not only is it appropriate to have humor in a movie, it's encouraged, but it also doesn't stray from having that darker element to it too. And again, that's because Spider-Man at his core is a very tragic character.
It's a fine balance to strike, and they struck it in this one. Yeah,
and it works for that reason. It balances the different elements of Spider-Man perfectly. It knows where to keep the focus, and like this might be one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Same here.
And granted, I might have a little bit of a bias. But yeah, like, I like this better than Guardians 2. I liked it better than Wonder Woman.
Do you like it better than Logan?
I do like it better than Logan. I had more fun at this than Logan. Logan's a stone cold bummer.
Yes, good.
It's a great movie, but
movie,
this is probably my favorite comic book movie I've seen this year.
Agreed.
Because again, like they got my main man right.
Finally.
That makes me so happy.
And it only took them a decade and a half.
It's because Marvel's like, okay, you need to stop now, Sony. There's some funny parts. Listening to the interviews, like Kevin Feige, the producer behind all Marvel movies, and like the head executive at Sony, talk about this. There's one part they were talking about like the Marvel Spider-Man movie together, and someone brought up the new Venom movie they announced recently. How it's gonna be like, is it gonna be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Is Tom Holland gonna be in it? He goes like, well, we could. It's connected. We could bring him in at some point, but it's also gonna be its own thing. And you see like Kevin Feige looking here like, bitch, what you talking about? He doesn't say it, but he just kind of looks over like, just as surprised as we are. Like, Carol, we did not discuss this. I know her name's not Carol. I don't know what her name is.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the voice of Karen which plays Spider-Man AI in this one, it's actually Jennifer Connelly.
I was wondering whose voice that was, because it actually did sound familiar.
But here's the kicker. She's married to Paul Bettany, who played Vision, a.k.a. Jarvis.
So they're both AIs.
They're both AIs, yeah.
That's some beautiful symmetry right
Yeah.
there.
So I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but it was great. And again, considering I had one minor gripe that still may work to their advantage, is I'm a little disappointed that Spider-Man didn't come up with a lot of tech himself. That had to be given by Tony Stark. That's my one, if there's a major gripe in this movie, that's probably it. Because again, Spider-Man in the comics is as smart, if not smarter, than Reed Richards and Tony Stark.
But he did save the day with his low-tech web shooters.
I know, and he's still a genius, and
Yes.
again, he's still young. He's only 15 in this, so maybe it all changes as he gets older. I know I think Infinity War space like 5 years later or something like that, but we'll find out, I guess.
I guess.
But that's one thing I hope they see in the sequels. I want to see more of that Parker brain. There was teased in Civil War. We saw a bit of it. I want to see it more in the future movies.
And I think it was hinted at here when he was.
He still has a tech brain.
When he was deactivating the safety protocols.
Yeah, it's there. I want to see more of it. I want to see what he can do with resources, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the suit at the end was supposed to be the Iron Spider-Man suit. If it was, that'd be pretty cool. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
During the actual Civil War storyline, Iron Man gave Spider-Man this cool, gold and red suit that had, 3 golden spider arms that came out of the back.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty cool. It didn't last long, though, because Spider-Man ended up changing sides to Captain's side, and there was a fight, and he went back to the black Venom suit for a while. It's a long story.
Okay.
And then there was the whole I made a deal with the devil to erase my marriage thing, and that was weird.
One more day.
Yeah, one more day. One other thing we should talk about. Mary Jane? Or Michelle in this, in this movie? Spoiler, I guess.
My friends call me MJ. I picked up on that, too.
Yeah, so, is that really supposed to be the Mary Jane? Because, interesting character change.
Yes.
It's entertaining, and I like that character, so I'm willing to see where it goes. It is going to take me a while to get used to it, though, because it is very, very different.
Agreed.
So that's one of those wait-and-see things for me. But, they've earned my faith with this movie. So, you know what? I'm invested. Let's see where this goes. In the trail, in the recent interview, they said the next film they want to use is somebody that hasn't been in a movie before. So I'm hoping for Scorpion would be great because they already cast him, and again, such great casting that I can't wait if they go through with that. Prowler would be good, but I'm not sure I'd just give him immediately. You can kind of wait on Prowler.
Yeah, he's more of a lower key villain from what I remember.
He's not really a bad guy. He's more just a thief that just pops up every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Kraven the Hunter would be a lot of fun.
Oh, yes.
And Mysterio.
That would be interesting to see live action on the big screen.
Yeah. I know I'd say Venom and Carnage, but they're really saving that for the Venom spinoff. My hopes are not high for that.
Understandably so.
I mean, I'm down for Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's great. And it's like, okay, good casting for Venom. I do not trust anything else about this production. And because, like, it's Sony, will you fucking stop with this greedy bullshit? God damn it. Pisses me off. Anyway, but so that means, like, so it means we're not getting Venom, we're not getting Rhino or Green Goblin.
Or Doc Ock.
Or Doc Ock. Or Sandman. And I think that's all the ones that have been in the movie so far.
I guess Hobgoblin, technically.
Hobgoblin's not been in the movies. That doesn't count. Green Goblin is not the same as Hobgoblin.
I know.
So that means, like, the likely candidates be like Mysterio, Scorpion, so they already have him in here. He even has a scorpion tattoo on his neck.
I noticed that.
So yeah, I'd be down for Scorpion as my first one because I just want to see that actor play full villain in a movie. Because that'd be so much fun.
That would be awesome. Because that actor is, if Better Call Saul is any indication, he's very good at playing the charming psychopath.
He's great playing a straight up fucking psychopath.
Yes.
Like drunk induced, like kind of psychopath. So I'm down. Put him in a scorpion suit. Let him stab some folks. You know, he could actually kind of be like a makeshift Carnage in a way if you play it right.
How?
Well, because he's already such great. Like, I'm just thinking about how they could do this in the movie. Like, wouldn't that be a great escalation? Instead of just doing like a thief like Vulture in this one, you just did with a straight up psychopathic murderer in the sequel, and it happened to be that actor in a gigantic, scary as fuck scorpion suit.
That would be effective.
How great would that be?
That would be pretty effective.
Because like, as soon as I heard this before I saw the movie, so I knew it was coming. I saw like that actor cast as Scorpion, was like, I want to see this so badly. And now, even still, I know I've said this before. I was like, I still think it's like one of the greatest villain casting choices I've ever heard. So I'm really excited for that. They go that route. But and again, I'd be down for Mysterio. Mysterio would be a lot of fun.
I remember Mysterio from the Saturday morning.
He's the one. He's the one with the bowl in his head.
Yes, but
the Master of Illusion.
I'll be honest. That villain. His origins and motivations.
He's always been in kind of the cheesy side. You can change that, though.
Always kind of confused me.
It changes.
He wasn't one of the clearer villains from what I recall.
It changes depending on what source you're looking at. There's all kinds of different versions of them.
Okay.
Either way, just like the visual effects alone you can do for that would be spectacular.
Definitely.
So that'd be curious. And then like there are so many like Spider really does have one of the best rogues galleries out there.
Yes.
And there's so much you can do. You can honestly just pull like just the most obscure villain out there. You can still make it cool. Okay, maybe not all of them. There is a villain that he has like just a guy named Joe. That's actually his villain title, just a guy named Joe. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But even with like some of the newer ones, like Mr. Negative would be cool.
That sounds interesting.
He's a newer one. I did notice the Spider-Man suit Tony Stark at the end bears a striking resemblance to the one that's in the new video game.
Probably some cross promotion.
Maybe, I don't know, but the video game looks pretty good too, so we'll see what happens in a minute. Anyway, I think I'm out of nerd material to talk about, at least for now. So do you got any final thoughts for Spider-Man?
I loved it, top to bottom, start to finish. I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. It's easily the best superhero movie of the year thus far. We'll see how Thor 3 turns out in about 5 months.
This is a good year for comic movies.
It is.
It's a good year for movies in general. Like honestly, like maybe just because I've been so busy that I've missed out some of the worst films this year. But like I feel like this year hasn't been that bad.
It's also been a pretty good year for independent movies. I've been seeing a lot of independent films.
Yeah, I'm sad I haven't got a chance to see a lot of them because I don't have any free fucking time anymore.
Understandable. I've had all kinds of free time because my current job wasn't scheduling me for many shifts.
Well, you have a job now.
Yes. I'll take what I can get. Yeah, like I said, this is the Spider-Man movie I've been wanting for 15 years. So we finally have it. It was worth the wait. And it's so good.
It's like that Conan O'Brien tweet. It's like, all we want for our kids is their Spider-Man reboot to be better than the one we had.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is a worthy successor to Spider-Man mantle. Everyone here nails it. Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
He is.
If you're a Spider-Man fan, go see this. If you're not, go see it. If you like fun, go see it.
If you're a movie fan, go see it. If you're a comic book movie fan, go see it. You won't be disappointed.
I think there's enough here for everyone to get something out of it.
Definitely.
So yeah, do you even want to bother going over the trailers?
Briefly.
Like, with some of them I've seen before, like, we walked in the Daddy's Home 2 trailer, we got the Jumanji trailer, which, fuck that movie.
Yes, when the Jumanji trailer was going on, somebody in our theater audibly shouted out, "Why?"
Yeah.
And I said, my sentiments exactly. Nobody asked for this shit. And I'm not going to say that the original Jumanji was a great movie, but it was campy fun, and Robin Williams, may he rest in peace, was very charming.
I'd still say it's a good movie, like, at least for the effects alone.
Yes, I was entertained by it, and I really enjoyed it, but...
Fuck this modern day cynical Hollywood bullshit.
Nobody wanted this.
This is fucking cynical bullshit.
Fuck the remake. Just...
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it either.
I'm not gonna bother seeing that. No.
So you say that now.
You'll have to bribe me more than you bribed me for 50 Shades Darker.
I bribed you pretty heavily for 50 Shades Darker. There's no way this is gonna be worth 50 Shades Darker. That was a garbage film for garbage people.
Yes.
Jumanji just looks like cynical Hollywood bullshit.
It still looks like garbage, though.
Not 50 Shades Darker bullshit.
Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I'm not saying I'm gonna make you do it.
I know.
I'll call Matt first.
I'm glad that I'm finally in.
I told you I'd take you to a good one.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it only took 7 months.
Would you prefer I didn't?
I'm teasing.
I know.
I'm glad that I was here for this one.
No, me too. I'm good. Like, you and I are good at talking nerd.
Yes.
But no, like, I was like looking at the list of the movies this week. I was like, we already saw Baby Driver and Despicable Me 3. It's 4th of July week. No one's gonna want to see anything. You guys just want to see Spider-Man? You're like the first one. Yes! It's like, alright, let's do it. Fuck it.
Yeah, it happened to fall in the middle of my concert weekend.
So all's well that ends well.
Yes.
Anyway, it's 10:30 and I gotta work tomorrow, so we should probably wrap this up.
So...
What else do we get? Oh, Pitch Perfect 3. I could not give less of a fuck about Pitch Perfect 3.
I saw the first two Pitch Perfect movies, and while I was entertained by them, I'm surprised that they stretched it out to a third one. And,
I'm not.
and pretty quickly after the second one. I mean,
probably around a contractual obligation.
Probably. And we got Geostorm, which...
Oh, forgot. That's the Gerald Butler. Like,
which looks kind of dumb.
That's the second trailer I've seen for that. They have massively different tones between trailers. One looked like Everybody Dies, the movie, and the second one looks like Now Everybody Dies with comedy?
Yeah, maybe they're...
Guardians of the Destruction.
Maybe they're trying to scramble to get butts in the seats, since the first trailer didn't make it look very positive.
I think the Kotaku article I read described it best. It looks like somebody looked at Guardians of the Galaxy and go, you know what this movie needs? It's honestly what it feels like. I don't know, that movie looks like dog shit, so I couldn't care less about that one either.
We most, except for that, we got trailers for sequels and remakes.
Yeah, Kingsman 2.
Yes.
Which I'm really excited for that one, because I love Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, that looked good. I still need to see the first Kingsman. I missed it.
You haven't seen it?
Not yet. I want to.
So good.
I know.
Redbox it or something.
If I can find it on Redbox.
Yeah. You work at a movie theater.
They have current releases and Fathom events.
I'm sure somebody knows where Redbox is.
Well, I know where the red boxes are.
Find a way!
There's a red box.
I will send you a link. Find a way.
Thank you.
Actually, I don't know if I can find one. I don't know. I'm bullshitting. But that's. Did we get anything else? I don't even remember.
I think that's all I can remember too.
That's good enough.
So, yeah.
All right. So I think that's really the only movie we need to worry about this week, unless we really want to see The House, which. If my schedule's open enough this weekend, I might. Hey, buddy, you busy tonight?
I like the outro music that I've heard for that movie when I've been cleaning the theater after it gets out.
Yeah, I can't really other than that. What even comes out next week? Ooh, War for the Planet of the Apes comes out next week.
That's right.
I'm so ready for that movie. I'm so ready. My body is ready. It's a good month.
So
I'm gonna see the movies before I leave for vacation next couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm just gonna spend a lot of money.
Comic-Con?
Oh yeah. So speaking of ready, yes, I'm so ready for this. On that note.
Yeah, like I said, this movie's awesome. Go see it.
Yeah. Now we're just repeating ourselves, so
yes.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take off. Bye, guys.